So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're going to take a look at two things, okay? So thing number one is farming on Draco. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to talk about the frames you want to get, where to stand, what to do, basically everything you need to know about Draco farming. Because Draco farming is still the fastest way to get affinity, random mods, rogue incels, and focus. And the second thing I want to show you is a Radial Javelin build for Excalibur. That's my preferred build for farming on Draco. Now, if you're only interested in the Radial Javelin build for Excalibur, there is an annotation in the bottom left corner of the screen, and if you click it, it will skip to the build. Now, first things first, this is good, not fun, alright? All you're gonna do here is stand in the exact same spot for 15 minutes and press your one button. That's all you're going to do here. So frame number one is, of course, Radial Javelin Excalibur, and all you're gonna do with this dude is stand between these two boxes. That's it. You're gonna stand here, and you're gonna spam Radial Javelin throughout the entire mission. And this spot works for the build I'm going to show you later, because it has a specific amount of power range, alright? This is very important, because if you have too much power range, you're going to kill all the enemies on the map, and your Trinity won't have any dudes to use Energy Vampire on, so you're going to run out of energy. Now, speaking about Trinity, that's the second frame you want to get. You want to get EV Trinity. Now, there are two spots where you can stand. You can either stand up here with your Radial Javelin Excalibur, and you can aim down sights and cast Energy Vampire on enemies that are either coming down this ramp, or from this door, or that are standing up here. And you will always have more than enough enemies to cast Energy Vampire on because of the positioning and the build of your Radial Javelin Excalibur. However, this only works if your Radial Javelin Excalibur is standing in between the two boxes, and he's using the build I'm going to show you later. Now, just in case he's not using the build and he's going for more power range, you can stand on top of these two pipes, and this way you'll be able to cast Energy Vampire farther away, so on enemies that are coming down this ramp. Now, you do need maximum power range with Cunning Drift. Otherwise, your Energy Vampire isn't going to reach your teammates all the way over there, which means they don't have any energy and they can't cast abilities. And all you're going to do is cast Energy Vampire over and over and over again. Now, the third frame is Frost, and he's optional. You don't need Frost. You can have any other frame, but Frost is really nice to have. And that's because Radial Javelin Excalibur and EV Trinity are rather squishy. And all your Frost is gonna do is stand either on top of the boxes or right next to the boxes and put up bubbles. That's it. Now, the fourth frame is usually a buffer frame, so either an Eclipse Mirage or Raw Rhino, but it really doesn't matter. All that matters is that you have 4 players, okay? Because that's gonna increase the difficulty, which means more enemies are gonna spawn. You can even take a Desecrating Necros to get more loot from this. And the buffer frame will once again stand either on top of the two boxes or right next to the two boxes. Now, once you've assembled a group and you've arrived on Draco, you're gonna do this, alright? So you're gonna cap C and D, and one person, which is usually the Frost or the fourth optional frame, is gonna half cap A while leaving B uncontested. And this way you're only gonna win the round by about 1 or 2 points, which means you can stay in the mission longer and you will kill more enemies per one round. And then you spam and spam and spam until the round is over. And for the love of God, once you reach 100% and the game marks the remaining enemies on the map, let everyone pick up their loot before you kill everything. You have no idea how annoying it is when you're running towards like 50 mods and bunch of rogue incels, but you get stopped like 10 meters in front of them because someone already killed all the dudes. Please let everyone pick up their loot and then kill the remaining enemies. And ta-ta! You just got a ton of loot, and since focus is now shared, you don't have to be Excalibur to get an absolute truck ton of focus as well. And now let's take a look at the Radial Javelin Excalibur build. So this is a 3-forma build, and what we're going to do with that forma is add a dash, another dash, and a V. And the aura I'm using is Corrosive Projection. This is really good because it strips away 30% of the enemy armor, so the Grenier aren't as tough. I'm using Overextended with Cunning Drift, which gives me 205% power range, which is just enough for me to stand in between the two boxes and don't kill enemies that are too far away, so my Trinity always has plenty of dudes to cast Energy Vampire on. Then I'm using a combo of Fleeting Expertise, Streamline, Flow and Natural Talent. And let me explain to you why this is a combo. So Natural Talent only works if you have Flow, Streamline and Fleeting Expertise. If you're missing either Flow, Streamline or Fleeting Expertise, there will be times where your Trinity simply can't give you enough energy, which means you're going to use fewer Radial Javelins, and that kind of defeats the point of Natural Talent. Because the good thing about Natural Talent is that you're gonna kill enemies faster, which means they will respawn faster. And finally, for Power Strength, we're going Big Dick, alright? Intensify, Transient Fortitude, and Blind Rage. And this gives you more than enough Power Strength, even after offsetting Overextended, which reduces Power Strength, to kill most units in one Radial Javelin. And by the way, if you have both Blind Rage and Transient Fortitude maxed out, you're gonna have to add one more Forma. But I don't want to do that because I'm using them on other builds. And that's pretty much the build. It's squishy, it sucks without EV Trinity, and all it's designed to do is stand in between the two boxes on Draco and spam Radial Javelin. So I hope this video was helpful. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.